Chosen One, this message found you for a reason. Not by accident, not by coincidence, and definitely not by mistake. Because there is something happening around your life right now that your eyes still cannot fully see. But your spirit can feel it. Deep inside yourself, you have sensed that something is changing. Something is moving. Something is preparing to enter your life after a long season of pain, confusion, delay, and emotional exhaustion. And today, heaven wants you to hear this clearly. Your prayer opened the door to a miracle. Yes, that prayer, the one you whispered while crying silently at night, the one you spoke when nobody understood your pain, the one you made when your heart was breaking and your soul felt tired, the prayer you thought heaven ignored. It was heard. Every tear was seen. Every sleepless night was recorded. Every moment you almost gave up but still kept going carried spiritual power. And something shifted the moment you refused to quit. Chosen One, there were nights when you felt completely alone. Nights when your mind became heavy with overthinking. Nights when you questioned your purpose, your worth, and even your future. You smiled in front of people while secretly fighting battles nobody knew about. You carried emotional pain quietly because you learned that not everyone truly understands sensitive souls like yours. People saw your silence, but they did not see your struggle. People saw you surviving, but they did not see how hard it was just to wake up and continue. And despite everything, you still kept praying. That is what makes your spirit powerful. Because many people stop believing after disappointment. Many people become bitter after betrayal. Many people close their hearts after pain. But even after everything you experienced, there was still a small part of your soul that kept hoping for something better. And heaven noticed that. Chosen One, you need to understand something very important right now. The delays were never punishment. The loneliness was never abandonment. The closed doors were never proof that your destiny was over. You were being prepared, because some blessings are so big that the old version of you could never carry them properly. Some miracles require spiritual growth first. Some doors only open after your soul becomes strong enough to walk through them. And that is exactly what has been happening to you. The pain changed you, not in a weak way, in a powerful way. You became wiser. You became more aware. You became more spiritually sensitive. You stopped ignoring red flags. You stopped chasing fake love. You stopped begging for acceptance from people who never truly valued your heart. And slowly, without even realizing it, your energy began changing. That is why certain people started disappearing from your life. That is why some relationships suddenly became distant. That is why some plans unexpectedly collapsed. At the time, it hurt deeply. You thought you were losing everything. But later you will understand that heaven was removing what could not follow you into your next season. Chosen One, not everyone is assigned to stay in your life forever. Some people enter your journey to teach lessons. Some enter to test your boundaries. And some leave because their energy no longer matches where your soul is going. Your spirit has evolved. You are no longer the same person you were a year ago. The old version of you tolerated disrespect. The new version protects peace. The old version feared endings. The new version understands that endings create space for miracles. The old version constantly doubted themselves. The new version is beginning to recognize their power. Can you feel that shift happening inside you? That feeling is real. Your soul is awakening. And whenever a chosen one begins spiritually awakening, life starts changing in strange ways. Suddenly you feel disconnected from old conversations. Certain environments begin feeling heavy. Loud people drain your energy. Fake behavior becomes easier to notice. Your intuition becomes stronger. Your spirit craves silence, healing, truth, and purpose more than attention or validation. This is not weakness. This is transformation. You are becoming more aligned with your true destiny. And because of that alignment, your miracle is getting closer. Chosen One, there is a reason the attacks became stronger recently. There is a reason confusion tried to enter your mind. There is a reason fear kept whispering negative thoughts about your future. Whenever a breakthrough is near, resistance increases. Darkness attacks hardest when light is about to enter. The enemy wanted you exhausted. The enemy wanted you hopeless. The enemy wanted you believing that nothing would ever change. But look at yourself now. You are still standing. After all the heartbreak, you survived. After all the disappointment, you survived. After all the silent battles nobody knew about, you survived. That alone is proof that something greater has been protecting your life this entire time. There were moments you should have completely broken apart. But somehow strength appeared again. You cried, but you kept moving. You felt tired, but you kept trying. You felt lost, but something inside you refused to fully give up. That something was divine protection. Chosen One, Heaven has been carrying you even during moments when you thought you were carrying yourself alone. And now the season is changing. You can feel it. Your spirit senses movement before your eyes see results. That strange feeling inside your chest lately, that feeling that something important is coming, is not your imagination. Your soul recognizes what your mind cannot fully explain yet. A door is opening, not a small door, a life-changing door, an opportunity, a breakthrough, a healing, a restoration, a miracle. And the beautiful part is that it may arrive through the most unexpected direction possible. That is how miracles work. For a long time it feels like nothing is happening. Then suddenly everything changes at once. A new opportunity appears. A connection enters your life. A burden lifts. A prayer gets answered. A path opens that did not exist before. And people around you will call it luck. But they did not see the nights you spent praying through pain. They did not see the emotional battles you fought privately. They did not see how many times you almost gave up. Chosen one, sudden blessings are usually built on long seasons of invisible preparation. And your preparation season has been intense. Every betrayal taught you discernment. Every disappointment taught you resilience. Every delay taught you patience. Every painful ending taught you self-respect. Nothing was wasted. Even your suffering carried hidden wisdom. That is why the version of you emerging now feels different. You are calmer. You think deeper. You value peace more. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself to everyone. And that emotional maturity is preparing you for the next level of your destiny. Because the things coming into your life now require a stronger version of you. Chosen one, stop speaking hopelessness over your future. Stop assuming your story ends in struggle. Stop believing you are forgotten. You are not forgotten. Heaven has been working behind the scenes this entire time. Even when you saw nothing changing, invisible movement was happening. Even when doors closed, protection was happening. Even when people betrayed you, lessons were happening. Even when your heart broke, transformation was happening. And now your breakthrough is beginning to approach. You must prepare your spirit for abundance. Not only financial abundance, emotional abundance, spiritual abundance, peace, joy, clarity, healthy love, purpose. For too long you survived in survival mode. Always worried, always anxious, always emotionally carrying too much. But your next season will feel different. There will still be challenges because life is never perfect. But your spirit will no longer feel trapped in constant darkness. You are entering a season of restoration. A season where your soul can finally breathe again. A season where you stop begging for what should naturally flow toward you. A season where your energy begins attracting better experiences, better people, and better opportunities. And chosen one, hear this carefully. You do not need revenge against people who doubted you. You do not need to prove yourself to everyone who underestimated you. Your elevation will speak louder than arguments ever could. The same people who ignored your value may soon witness a transformation they cannot explain. Because when heaven decides to lift a chosen one, no human opinion can stop it. You were never cursed. You were being prepared. Diamonds are created under pressure, and the pressure you endured created strength inside your spirit that most people will never understand. That is why you must stop shrinking yourself. Stop apologizing for your light. Stop hiding your gifts. Stop pretending to be less powerful than you truly are, just to make others comfortable. Your soul was not created to stay small forever. You were born for something bigger, and deep down, you have always known that. That quiet feeling inside you that says, there has to be more for my life. That feeling was never random. It was intuition. Your spirit has always sensed destiny calling you towards something greater, and now you are getting closer than ever before. The miracle may not arrive exactly how you expected, but it will arrive exactly how your soul needs it. That is why you must remain open. Do not limit the ways blessings can enter your life. Sometimes the greatest miracles come disguised as unexpected change. Chosen one day you will look back at this painful chapter and realize it was the season that transformed everything. One day you will understand why certain people left, why certain plans failed, why certain doors closed. Because, chosen one, your story is only beginning. And the reason those words matter so much right now is because deep inside yourself, you already know that the chapter you have been living in cannot be the final chapter of your life. Your soul feels it, your spirit senses it. Even after all the disappointments, after all the confusion, after all the moments where you felt emotionally exhausted and spiritually drained, something inside you still refuses to believe that you were created only to suffer. That feeling is not false hope. That feeling is divine knowing. Because heaven never placed greatness inside your spirit just for you to spend your entire life feeling broken, rejected, unseen, and forgotten. No, you were meant to rise. And the reason your journey became so difficult is because powerful destinies often require powerful preparation. Chosen one, most people around you have no idea how much you have survived internally. They only know the version of you that smiles politely, stays quiet, and keeps moving forward. They do not see the emotional wars that happened inside your mind. They do not see how many nights you fought silent battles while pretending everything was okay. There were times when your heart felt so heavy that even simple tasks became difficult. There were moments when you wanted to disappear from the world just to escape the pressure you were carrying inside. Sometimes you isolated yourself because you became tired of explaining pain that nobody seemed to understand. And yet, despite everything, you continued. That is strength. Real strength is not loud. Real strength is waking up every day while carrying invisible pain and still choosing not to quit. And heaven saw every moment of that struggle. Chosen one, there is a reason your spirit feels emotional while hearing messages like this. It is because your soul recognizes truth. Your soul remembers things your logical mind sometimes forgets. Deep inside yourself, you know you are connected to something greater than ordinary life. That is why normal things never fully satisfied you. That is why shallow conversations exhaust you. That is why you constantly feel like you are searching for deeper meaning. Your spirit was never designed for superficial living. You were created to awaken. And awakening is not comfortable. Most people think spiritual awakening feels peaceful from the beginning. But often it starts with chaos. It starts with confusion. It starts with loss. It starts with painful separation from people, habits, and environments that no longer match your energy. That is exactly what happened to you. The old version of your life had to collapse so the real version of you could emerge. At the time, it felt cruel. You wondered why relationships suddenly changed. You wondered why people misunderstood you. You wondered why certain opportunities disappeared even after you prayed for them. But now you are slowly beginning to realize that many of those closed doors were actually protection. Because not every opportunity is aligned with your destiny. Not every relationship is healthy for your spirit. And not every person who enters your life deserves permanent access to your energy. Chosen one, your energy is valuable. That is why certain people tried to drain it. Sensitive souls attract both light and darkness. Your kindness attracted people who needed healing. But sometimes it also attracted people who only came to take without giving anything back. There were moments you poured love into people who never truly appreciated your heart. Moments when you stayed loyal to people who secretly doubted you. Moments when you forgave people who continued hurting you. And eventually your soul became tired, not because you are weak, but because your spirit was no longer willing to carry connections that only created pain. That is why boundaries became necessary. And yes, setting boundaries felt uncomfortable at first. You worried about disappointing people. You worried about being misunderstood. But chosen one, protecting your peace is not selfish. It is spiritual survival. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your emotions, your time, your kindness, or your energy. Some people only enter your life to test whether you will finally choose yourself. And now you are learning that lesson. You are learning that healing sometimes requires distance. Healing sometimes requires silence. Healing sometimes requires walking away from environments that constantly drain your spirit. And although that process feels lonely, it is also transforming you. Because every time you choose peace over chaos, your soul becomes stronger. Every time you stop chasing people who do not value you, your self-worth grows. Every time you listen to your intuition instead of ignoring it, your spiritual awareness deepens. Chosen one, can you feel how different your energy has become recently? You are no longer willing to tolerate certain behaviors. You no longer crave validation the same way you once did. You no longer feel connected to fake conversations or superficial attention. Something deeper inside you has awakened. And that awakening is directly connected to the miracle entering your life. Because miracles are not only external events. Sometimes the greatest miracle is becoming the version of yourself you were always meant to be. A version of you that no longer lives in fear. A version of you that trusts their intuition. A version of you that understands their worth. A version of you that stops begging for love and starts recognizing they deserve real alignment. Chosen one, your future relationships will feel different because you are different now. Your future opportunities will feel different because your energy is changing. You are no longer attracting from desperation. You are beginning to attract from alignment. And alignment changes everything. That is why certain things that once excited you no longer feel meaningful. Your soul is evolving beyond old desires. You are beginning to crave purpose more than attention, peace more than popularity, depth more than appearance, truth more than comfort. And although this transformation feels confusing sometimes, it is leading you towards something beautiful, because heaven cannot introduce you to your next season while you are still emotionally attached to your old one. That is why release became necessary. Chosen one, there are still moments when fear enters your mind, moments when you wonder whether things will truly improve, moments when old pain tries to convince you that disappointment is inevitable. But those thoughts are not your destiny. They are echoes from old wounds. And healing means learning not to build your future around past pain. Your past may explain you, but it does not define you. What happened to you was real. The betrayal was real. The heartbreak was real. The loneliness was real. But your future is still unwritten. And heaven is preparing chapters your current mind cannot fully imagine yet. That is why you must stop expecting life to repeat the same pain forever. You are not trapped in old cycles anymore. You are changing. Your awareness is changing. Your standards are changing. Your spirit is changing. And once a chosen one truly changes internally, external reality eventually follows. That is spiritual law. Energy shifts reality. The moment your inner world changes, your outer world begins reorganizing itself around your new frequency. That is why certain connections suddenly faded away. That is why your intuition started warning you about specific people. That is why your soul began craving solitude. You were recalibrating. And although isolation felt painful, it also gave you something priceless. Clarity. Chosen one. Clarity is one of the greatest blessings a person can receive, because once you truly see people clearly, you can never unsee them again. Once you recognize your worth, you can never comfortably settle for disrespect again. Once your spirit awakens, you can no longer pretend ignorance. And that awakening is protecting your future now. You are becoming harder to manipulate, harder to deceive, harder to emotionally control, because your intuition has become sharper through suffering. Pain taught you discernment, and discernment is spiritual armor. Chosen one, many people will never understand your journey because they only see the results, not the preparation behind them. One day they will see your confidence and call you lucky. One day they will see your peace and assume life was easy for you. One day they will witness your blessings and think they appeared overnight. But they did not see the years of inner work. They did not see the prayers. They did not see the tears. They did not see how many times you rebuilt yourself after emotionally collapsing. Your transformation was earned through survival. That is why your future success will carry depth. Because people who have survived darkness appreciate light differently. And chosen one, your light is returning now, slowly, quietly, powerfully. You may not fully recognize it yet, but you are becoming magnetic, not because you are pretending to be someone else, but because authenticity carries energy. And the more you heal, the more your true energy naturally shines. That is why strangers may suddenly feel drawn toward you. That is why your presence affects people more deeply now. That is why your intuition keeps guiding you toward change. Your spirit is aligning with a new reality. And this next chapter of your life will require courage, because blessings often arrive disguised as opportunities that initially feel uncomfortable. New environments, new people, new responsibilities, new beginnings. At first, your mind may resist because the human brain naturally fears the unknown. But your soul recognizes expansion even when your mind feels nervous. That is why you must trust yourself more now. Chosen one, for too long you doubted your instincts. Chosen one, destiny is beginning now. And even though part of you feels excited hearing those words, another part of you still feels afraid to fully believe them. Because disappointment has visited your life so many times, that trusting good news sometimes feels dangerous. You have spent so long protecting your heart from pain, that even hope itself can feel uncomfortable now. But listen carefully. The reason your spirit feels emotional right now is because deep down, your soul knows this message is touching a truth you have been carrying silently for a very long time. You were never meant to stay stuck in survival mode forever. You were never created only to endure pain. You were never abandoned. You were being prepared for a level of transformation that most people would never understand. Chosen one, there were moments when you truly thought life had forgotten you. Moments when you watched blessings happen for everyone else while your own prayers seemed unanswered. You stayed patient. You stayed kind. You kept trying to do the right thing. Yet somehow it felt like doors continued closing in front of you. And slowly, exhaustion entered your spirit. You began questioning yourself. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe miracles happen for other people, not for me. Maybe my time will never come. Those thoughts hurt deeply because they attacked the very center of your hope. But those thoughts were never the truth. Pain has a way of distorting vision. When a person suffers for too long, they begin expecting disappointment automatically. They start preparing for rejection before it even happens. They stop trusting joy because pain taught them that happiness never lasts. And Chosen One, that emotional exhaustion became heavy inside you. Sometimes you felt tired for no visible reason. Not physical tiredness, soul tiredness, the kind of tiredness that sleep cannot fix. Because your spirit had been carrying grief, disappointment, betrayal, confusion, and loneliness all at the same time. And the hardest part was pretending you were okay while carrying all of it internally. People saw your smile, but they did not see the pressure inside your chest. People heard your words, but they did not hear the silent battles happening in your mind every night. Chosen One, you became strong because life gave you no other option. And although that strength is powerful, heaven also knows your soul deserves softness now. You deserve peace. You deserve emotional safety. You deserve moments where your nervous system no longer feels trapped in constant survival. That is part of the miracle approaching your life, not only external blessings. Internal healing. Because what good is success if the soul still feels broken inside? What good is abundance if the heart still feels unsafe receiving love? Oh, your next season is deeper than material change. It is restoration. Restoration of your confidence. Restoration of your faith. Restoration of your emotional balance. Restoration of your spirit. Chosen One, there is a version of you trying to emerge right now that is very different from the version shaped by fear and pain. This new version of you is learning not to chase, learning not to beg, learning not to force things that are not aligned. And although this transformation feels lonely sometimes, it is creating wisdom that will protect your future. Because the old version of you gave too much to people who gave too little in return. The old version ignored intuition to avoid losing people. The old version stayed in painful situations, hoping love would eventually change others. But now your soul understands something important. Love should not require self-destruction. Real connection should not constantly drain your peace. And real alignment should not leave you emotionally exhausted all the time. Chosen One, your spirit has outgrown certain energies. That is why your tolerance has changed. You notice manipulation faster now. You recognize fake behavior quicker now. You feel emotionally distant from shallow conversations now. That is spiritual growth. And although some people may call you different, the truth is that you are finally awakening to your real self. You are becoming more authentic. And authenticity terrifies people who benefited from the old version of you. The old version stayed silent. The new version sees clearly. The old version accepted crumbs. The new version recognizes worth. The old version feared loneliness. The new version fears abandoning themselves more than being alone. That shift is powerful. Because once a chosen one truly reconnects with their inner value, life can never return to old patterns comfortably again. Chosen one, there are still moments when memories hurt you. Still moments when old heartbreak suddenly returns to your mind. Still moments when betrayal replays itself emotionally inside your chest. Healing is not always linear. Some days you feel strong. Some days you feel fragile. Some days you feel hopeful. Some days you feel emotionally overwhelmed without fully understanding why. But hear this clearly. Healing does not mean you never feel pain again. Healing means pain no longer controls your identity. And slowly your soul is reaching that point now. You are learning how to carry wisdom without carrying bitterness. You are learning how to remember the past without living inside it. You are learning how to trust life again after disappointment. And that process is sacred. Chosen one, there is a reason your intuition keeps telling you not to give up. There is a reason you still feel emotionally connected to the idea that something beautiful is coming. Because something is. Your spirit senses it before your physical eyes can see it. That is why synchronicities have increased lately. That is why certain messages keep appearing repeatedly. That is why your soul feels restless. Your energy is shifting toward a new timeline. And yes, transformation often feels uncomfortable before it becomes beautiful. Because growth requires release. Release of old pain. Release of old identity. Release of old fear. Release of people and situations that no longer align with the future waiting for you. And release hurts sometimes. Even when something is unhealthy, the soul can still become emotionally attached to familiarity. Humans often cling to pain simply because pain feels known. But chosen one, your spirit was not created to remain trapped inside cycles that constantly wound your heart. You were created to evolve beyond them. That is why heaven keeps pulling you toward change. Even when your logical mind feels uncertain, your soul recognizes that staying the same is no longer possible. And the truth is, you have already changed more than you realize. A year ago, certain things would have destroyed you emotionally. Now you recover faster. A year ago, you constantly blamed yourself for everything. Now you question whether others deserved your energy in the first place. A year ago, you ignored your intuition. Now your soul speaks louder. That growth matters. Do not underestimate how far you have already come. Chosen one, survival changed you. The battles you endured forced you to become emotionally deeper, spiritually wiser, and mentally stronger. And one day you will realize that the very experiences you once hated became the experiences that awakened your true power. Because your power was never superficial. Your power was born through resilience. Anyone can smile when life is easy, but remaining soft-hearted after pain takes extraordinary strength. And despite everything, your heart still carries goodness. You still care deeply. You still love deeply. You still want meaningful connection. That purity inside your spirit is one reason your blessing is protected. Because many people allow pain to turn them cold. But your soul continued fighting to stay alive emotionally. Even after heartbreak, even after betrayal, even after abandonment. That matters more than you know. Chosen one, heaven has not ignored your loyalty. Your kindness was not wasted. Your tears were not meaningless. And the miracle approaching your life is not random. It is connected to every painful lesson you survived. Because the person you are becoming now could never have been created through comfort alone. Pressure created depth inside you. Silence created wisdom inside you. Loneliness created self-awareness inside you. And now you carry a presence that people can feel, even when you say very little. Have you noticed that lately? People feel your energy differently now. Some feel inspired around you. Some feel uncomfortable around you. Some suddenly distance themselves without explanation. That happens because awakened energy exposes truth naturally. Your presence forces hidden emotions to surface in others. And not everyone is comfortable facing themselves. Chosen one, stop apologizing for the intensity of your spirit. You were not created to be small. You were created to shine in a way that awakens others too. And yes, your light may intimidate insecure people sometimes. But that is not your responsibility to fix. Your responsibility is to remain authentic, to remain aligned with truth, to remain connected to your spirit. Because the more aligned you become internally, the more life begins opening externally. That is already happening around you now. Slowly, opportunities are shifting. Conversations are shifting. Your perspective is shifting. And soon your environment will begin shifting too. Because internal transformation always creates external movement. Eventually. Chosen one, your miracle may arrive in ways you least expect. Sometimes blessings appear disguised as endings first. A job ending, a relationship ending, a sudden separation, a painful goodbye. At first it feels devastating. But later you realize that ending created space for the very thing your soul truly needed. That is why you must trust divine timing more than temporary emotion. See you.